Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue with your same module, that is a research skill, and the same chapter, that is a chapter number 6, that is how you can put into the practice, that is how you are applying the theoretical subject or theoretical topics into the practical topics. So in the last class we have discussed about some theoretical topics, that is how to deal with the theoretical topics or how to deal with the practical topics also. In the last class we have discussed some stages like information sharing and the information processing and information retrieval. So we have discussed some stages. Now let's continue with the previous class session what we have covered in the last class, then move to the today's topic. That is the next topic, that is a next stage, that is used as stage number 5, that is the evaluation. So let's start with the previous class session what we have covered in the last class. So in the last class we have started with the stage number 4, that is the information processing. That is how we can process the information or how we can share the information in our practice, how we can share the information in a live example, that is the information sharing, that is the stage number 4. So we have discussed, or I have discussed with you about the stage number 4, that is the information sharing, in the last class. So let's start with this one. So how do many students share their information? So there are multiple methods by which they can share their information, like record sheet, display board, bulletin board. So there are various methods by which the information can be shared. That is the stage number 4. So let's start with these activities, these functions. The first is a record sheet. That is the first part. That is the first part of the information sharing, or how to make the information processing possible. So that is the stage number 4, that is the information sharing. That is how we can share the information, that is how we can put into the practice, that is how to share the information. There are multiple methods by which the information can be shared. The first method, that is use the record sheets. That is the record sheet is used for recording the or for sharing the information. That includes, this is the example of the water. From where does your water come? That is the record that is given. Content that is given. You have to put the answer over here. Where it is located in the Alberta, this is available over here. How was the water used in the past? Available over here. How is the water used today? Available over here. How is the water transported? And the other interesting facts. So this is the record sheet that is available. That is the stage number 4. That is the information sharing. Then next is it says they provides the information on the water in a variety of ways using the resources available. So whatever the resources available, that is used for the variety of the information that provides the information on the water in a various way, that is used with this one. Example, reading, pictures, charts, graphs, picture, guest lectures, speakers, field, film, etc. Then on completion of this work, a class record information gathered on a large wall chart that reflects the question on the student record sheet. And when the information is collected, discuss way of sharing this information. There are multiple methods by which we can share the information. Then next is the display board. So one is the report sheet or record sheet that we have discussed. Then next is the display board. That is also one of the method for the we can say the information sharing. We can share the information with the help of the display board. So it is saying that divide the class into pair or small groups. Have students choose a natural resource, either renewable or the non-renewable, for in-depth case study. And students are encouraged to use a variety of methods to present their information. So there are a variety of methods that is used to present the information. This is the mining method. Then the men who mine, the formation of the coal, then how was the coal formed, then this is the coal. So the main topic is the coal. This is the formation of the coal, then how is the coal formed, then present day uses, then where is the coal found in the Alberta, how the coal is transported. So this is just a display board, that is every information is available in this word about the coal. But every information is available over here. That is the mining method, the man who mined, the formation of the coal, then coal, present day uses, where is the coal found in the Alberta, and how the coal will be transported. The next is the material use. So what's the material used in this one? That is a pizza box or the code box. So whatever the box that you're using, that box will be used for the displaying the things, for display the boards. That is a pizza board or the code box. So this is the pizza board, or we can say the code box, whatever the box we are using. This is the crossword puzzle, then game, then true or false question, then true or false answer, then task, then cards. This is the application of the information. So one is the gathered information, then next is the application of information. So these are the two parts. That is, a part is the record sheet, next part is the display board. The next category is the debating. That means provides the debate that is more formal than the discussion. That means everyone is polite when the debate going on. So debate is more formal than the discussion. It is a contest between the two teams who test their skills in argument to win the audience report. Debating follows the rules of the procedure. Then characteristics, that is what are the features of a debate. First is it is competitive. So there should be a competitive report that is carrying out. There should be a competitive debate. That is everyone participate in this one. That means a competitive debate. Then it requires that the participants take a position either affirmative or negative which cannot be changed. So participants take the position, that means they take their seats either in a positive way or in a negative way which cannot be changed throughout the debate. Then it is more formal than the discussion and follows the rules of the procedure. This is very normal. Then its objective. What is the main objective of debating? That starts with a proposal, make the best case of it, win approval for that side, and the style is argumentative and the persuasive. So whatever the style that is using, that is argumentative and the persuasive. Then what are the rules? So these are the various characteristics. And what are the rules? The rule is the first the subject. That the subject is very clear from both the sides. That whether there may be a opposition, that may be in the favor, in the argue. So whatever the rule that is used, the subject must be clear. It must have the two sides, both of which are capable of being argued. And to avoid the confusion, it must be worded positively, not negatively. And it should be stated clearly and briefly. So whatever the content that is stated, that is clearly stated and clearly or briefly explained. That is the subject. The next is the debaters. The side that supports the subject is known as the affirmative, and the side that does not support, that is known as the negative. So one side that supports the subject, that is the affirmative, and the side that does not support, that is the negative. And each team should prepare its argument carefully, decides what point are to be covered by each speaker, consult the books and so on. And each debater's speech should be a good example of the sound argument, that is the debaters. Then what is the procedure that is followed? This is the procedure. One person is taking the opinion on one person, that is a chairman, announce a topic, introduce the speakers and explain the time limit and announces the judges' decisions. So the procedure is that chairman announces a topic, that this is the main topic, and introduce each and every speakers and explain any time limit and announces the judge's decision. So that means he or she also explain, the chairman also explain what is the time limit and announces what is the decision of the judge at the end of the debate. The debaters that is going to debate, that speak in this order, that is the first affirmative, that is first who are in the favor, then first, then negative, that is on the negative, then second affirmative, then second negative. So this is the portion, or this is we can say the order in which the debater debates or speaks. The first speaker for the affirmative makes the rebutter. The next is the judgment. So first is the these are the various tools. One is the subject, then debate procedure, then judgment, that is a judgment. The decision is going to take, or decision is given to the side that has more effectively presented and refuted the argument, that is a judgment. So decision is to given to the side that has more effectively presented and refuted the argument. So whatever the argument that is taken, that is a judgment part. The next stage is the stage number 4, that is the oral presentation or the speeches. That is next part that is used, or that is a part of the information sharing. So one is a debate, one is a debating, one is a normal. Uh, the next part is the oral presentation, that is also includes the speech. So oral presentation and the speech follows a similar process to the writing. As in the pre-writing stage, research and the organizing information and necessary steps preceding a speaking task. That is a very important part, or that is we can say the very important part of the information sharing. That is stage number 4, that is the oral presentation or the speech, by which we can share the information by using the oral presentation or the speech. So what are the various steps that is necessary for the effective speaking? So what are the various tools? So we can say the steps that is used for the necessary speaking. That is, first is preparing the oral presentation. So these are the various necessary steps. So first of all, prepare the presentation that is going to be that is you are going to present. Then in this, select a topic, carry out the research, make an outline. Outline means make a outline, or we can say the overview of the topic that you are going to teach. then make the notes, then important points to cover, that should be a reminder not only as a read, then practice, that means you should practice before the mirror for the oral presentations. Then this is a preparing an oral presentation. Then speak clearly and distinctly, that is speak in a clear way, the sound will be clear, your thought will be clear, your enunciation will be clear, your pronunciation is also important, audibility, variety, speed, everything is clear about so that the audience will get the more and more, that is a speak clearly and distinctly. Then next is the delivery, look at the audience, that is maintain the eye contact between the you and the audience, then start slowly, your voice is also very sweet. The next is a stage number 5, that is evaluation, just coming within 2 minutes after starting, before starting. This is the stage number 5, that is the evaluation. So this says independence, creativity and self-reliance are all facilitated when self-criticism and self-evaluation are the basic. So independence, creativity and the self-reliance, that means whenever you are independent, when you are creativity, then you have a creative arts and the self-reliance, these are all facilitated when the self-criticism and the self-evaluation are the basic. So when you are evaluating yourself, so please be focused on the independence, creativity and the self-reliance, that is both are the parts of the self-criticism, self-evaluation, that are the basic part that is given by the Carl Rogers. The evaluation stage plays a pivotal role in the development of the research skills. So whenever you are growing the evaluation stage in the practical way, that plays a vital role in the development of the research skill. That means evaluation is one of the important stage that is used as a development skills, or that is used as a development in the research skills. And this stage is made up of the two evaluation components. So there are two evaluation components that is used. One is the ongoing component, one is the review component. That is ongoing component means whatever the activity that is currently going on, that is ongoing activity, ongoing component that is going to cover, that is also one of the part of the evaluation. So whenever you are taking the ongoing activity, you are evaluating the ongoing activity, that is also very important. Then next is the review component. So one is ongoing activity, one is the still activity, that is already done, now you have to evaluate that. So one is the live, one is the not live, right? So evaluation stage plays a vital role in the development of the research skills. This stage is made up of the two evaluation methods. So there are two methods that is used for the evaluation. So first is the ongoing component. So while the activity is happening, teachers and students evaluate the process and the product. So whatever the content, whatever the activity that is going on, so teacher must evaluate the product, that what is the product, why it is happened, and teacher and students evaluate the product and process and the product. So what is the process, what is the product, that is the ongoing activities whenever the activity is happening. The next is the review component. So after the assignment is complete, teachers and students identify strength, needed improvement and transferability of the activity. That means after the assignment is over, so whenever the assignment is over, teacher and the student together, or they we can say the individual, identify what are the various strengths, where is the improvement point, and where is the transferability of the activity, that is a review component. And the following example provides the ideas for implementing both the components. So this is one of the example, that is what are the various techniques by which we are applying for the ongoing component and the review component. So there are two components, one is the ongoing, one is the review. Ongoing means that is a live, review means after the assignment is complete, now you can review the, or now you are reviewing the component whether the component is correct or not. The following example provides ideas for implementing both the components. So this is the evaluation techniques, that is from the social studies grades 1-3 TRM. So any teaching strategy that will help the student to make greater progress in learning can be used as an evaluation technique. So whatever the teaching strategy that will help the student, that will make the student, so whatever the strategy that you are using for making the student more progressive, or that will make greater progress in learning, that can be used as an evaluation method. That means that can be used as an evaluation method by which we can evaluate the strategy, by which we can evaluate the thing, that is the evaluation strategies or the techniques. And the following tools may be used for the evaluation. So these are the various tools that is used for the evaluation. One is the observation, then general, that is a daily low, then checklist, then student self-evaluation, then incidental or total record, then conferences or the interviews with the students, then collecting material, then questionnaires and the inventory, text and the quizzes. So these are the various methods by which we can evaluate any performance, or by which we can evaluate the performance of anyone. Either we can observe by taking care of that whether he or she is doing well or not, that is observation. Then general, that is maintaining a log, what time he or she coming, what time he or she goes, that is a general, maintaining a daily log. Then checklist, whether this document is available, yes, this document is available, yes, that is a checklist. Then student self evaluation, that is a, this is also one of the part that self evaluation is also carried out by the student. They are evaluating themselves, that is a self evaluation. Then anecdotal records, then conferences or the interviews with the students, then collecting material, that is also one of the part of the evaluation technique, that you can collect the material, that you can collect the things, or you can collect or interview with the students. Then collecting the materials. Then questionnaire and the interviews, that is how you can check the questionnaires and inventories. Then test and the quizzes. So what are the various tests that is used, what are the various quizzes that is used. So first is the observation. Now let's see one by one, that is what is observation, what is the journal entry. So what are the various evaluation techniques. So by observing students, teacher can evaluate the process of learning as well as the product. So that is how we can, or how you can evaluate the process of learning as well as the product. That is by observing the student, teacher can evaluate the process of learning as well as the product. Evaluation data or evaluated data may be obtained. So whenever we are saying the evaluated data, that may be obtained by observing and listening to the students' comment, questions and the expression. So whatever the comment, whatever the suggestions, whatever the scenario that they are giving, so observe and listening to the students' comment, questions and the expressions. Then observing the group interaction, that means observe the group interaction, that is how we can observe, or how the student will interact in the group, that is observing the group interaction. Then listening to the group discussions, so this is also one is observing, then listening. So this is all about the observation, that you observe the student, whether the student is going well, teaching well, doing well, that is observing the group interaction. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, Larry, are you able to hear me right now? Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, Larry, are you able to hear me? Yes, are you able to hear me? Okay, Joseph, how are you able to hear me? Okay. What about Larry? Your comment is coming, chat is coming that you are not able to see the, or listen the audio. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. So observing and listening to the students' comment, questions and the expressions, then observing the group discussion, listening to the group discussion, then observing the drama play, that is making the drama, and every person or some persons are playing the act as a drama players. So observing the drama play and the role play, then observing the students' use of the time and the material. So whatever the material they are giving, whatever the material they are receiving, so observe whether they are utilizing that material or not. Then observing the students while they participate in the classroom activities, that is observe whether they are participated, or whether they participate in the classroom activities or not, whether the activities are going on in a perfect way or not. So that is the main part. So observing the students when they participate in the activity, when they participate in the curriculum activity that is carrying out, so they participate in the classroom activity. So observation is an ongoing evaluation tool that cannot be separated from the daily classroom activities. So observation is what? That is an ongoing evaluation technique. That means that is going on, going on, going on. That cannot be separated from the daily classroom activities. Therefore, evaluation is a continuous process. So this is one of the important point, that evaluation is nothing but a continuous process in which we can or we can say anyone can evaluate me, you, anyone in a continuous way. Now, next technique that is used in is the journal daily log. So that is maintaining the daily log, maintaining the journals in a proper manner. So students records the activity of the social studies period and evaluate their own progress. So whatever the period that they are going or that they are teaching, so students record the activities of the social studies period and evaluate their own progress. That means this is a self-evaluation. They might also express opinions about activities or the topics. The teacher can use this information to draw the conclusions about the student understanding and to plan further appropriate activities. So whatever the appropriate activity that is carrying out, so they are evaluating the information, they are gathering the information to draw the conclusion about the student in understanding and to plan out the further appropriate activities. That is the general and the daily law. This is one of the entry example that is given. So today we bought labels from home. We made a neat chart that shows where things came from. They were not very much or very many under the Canada. I wonder where the robots or gobots are made. So this is one of the entry example. This is one of the entry that is given in the journal. So this is a self evaluations, that is they are carried the activities of the social science period and evaluate their own progress. From the above journal, the teacher may conclude that the student did understand the activity. I also indicate that the student will follow the activity that is arrived, where the student twice are made would be motivating. Now, next is collecting materials. That is the next part. That is the next activity. So this is we have done. That is observation, then general, then checklist. This is a checklist. This is a collecting material. This is one of the example of the checklist and the collecting material. So this is a collecting material. So that is a collection of samples of work that is produced by the student, can also serve as a profile of the student's sequential growth and the development. So whenever we are taking the samples, whenever we are grouping the samples of the work produced by the student, that can also work or that can also produce by the student, that can also serve as a profile of the student's sequential growth. So whenever they are providing the sequential growth, so they are giving the collection of the material, collection of the sample that can serve as a profile of the student's sequential growth and the development. And to be useful, the material must be updated or must be dated. That is, material must be dated with this one, that is available with chat log, that is available with collection of the material. Okay. So checklists are used at various stages to evaluate the achievement of the objective, whether the achievement is updated or whether the achievement will be achieved or not. That is checklist. That means I've set the margins after some points. That is, if that points are available, yeah, that I can tick in the checklist. So checklist can be used at various stages to evaluate the achievement of the objectives. They can be used to monitor the student progress or to serve a record of concepts and the skills introduced, developed, tested, and maintained. So whatever the steps, whatever the rule they are using, so that checklist can be used to monitor the student's progress or serve as a record of the concepts and the skills introduced, developed, tested, and maintained. That is a checklist. Student can be observed as they are working by themselves or as part of a group. That is, a student can be observed that they are working or they are working by themselves, they are doing by their own job or as a part of a group. Various sample checklists are provided. Teachers should modify these to meet the objectives of the unit. That means various checklists are provided and teachers should modify these to meet the objective, that what is the main objective of the unit, as well as to meet the needs of the students. That means after some time or after time to time in a time period, we are providing the checklist, we are providing the list. That means we are marking whether this is achievable. Yeah, this is achieved, this is achieved, this is achieved. That is the checklist. Then next is a group effectiveness appraisal form. That is the next part. That is one form is available, that is a group effectiveness appraisal form. See appendix for the copyright form. So this is group effectiveness appraisal form. That is a name, then group, then project title, then audience. So the name is given, from which group you are belong to, then what is the project title, then what is the audience. So rate your group on a 1 to 5 basis. That means rate your group either poor, fair, good, very good, excellent. So we worked cooperatively with all the group members, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We accomplished but we set out to complete, that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We were satisfied with our performance of this group task, that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 4 or 5 numbers. You are rating yourself by the group, that is from 1 to the 5. We all contributed fairly in the completion of this task group, that is from the 1 to 5. The next is personal assessment and the observation. This is the written form, that is questions will be available. Did you feel satisfied with your participation in the project? If yes, discuss your feelings honestly. Do you think that the project participation was fairly equal? That is, do you feel others in your group worked well and contributed fairly? If yes, then give the reason. Then do you think there are some ways your group could have improved and therefore produce a better finished product? If yes, then give the reason. Do you like doing the project like this or honestly prefer to work on your own? If yes, then give the reason or explanation. Please add any helpful comment you may think of, give the reason. So whatever the comment that you are going to give, you may give the comment. So this is one of the group effectiveness appraisal form. That is appraisal form that is used as a group, that is used in a group. The next is sample student self-evaluation. This is also one of the techniques, that is how the student can self-evaluate their concept, self-evaluated. But this is a sample that is given. So this evaluation form is most appropriate for the students in grade 4 to the 6. Now see appendix for the copy read form that is available. This is my research activity. This is very easily with difficulty. So first is using my family or planning skills, that is using my planning skills. So whether I am using my planning skills, whether I follow the first rule or not, first stage or not, that is the first point, that is using my planning skills. So that I understand the topic, that is the first part. Then I made up the research question, that is the second question. So we can find very easily, then easily or with difficulty. Then I made up the research questions. Either we can made up the research question very easily, either easily or with a difficulty. Then I suggested the possible information sources very easily or with difficulty. Then I chose my questions. So sorry. Then I develop a research plan, that is very easily and with difficulty. That is now first part, that is my research activity, that is the self-evaluation. Then using my information retrieval skills. So that is the first stage, that is the planning skills. The next is using my information retrieval skills, whether I retrieve the information in an effective way or not. That is the second point. That is I identified the source of the information in the school, in the community. Then using my information processing skills, that is I gathered and organized my information, that is very easily or with difficulty. Then I discovered the information I did not know before. Then I answered the question, I edited my work. So these are various parts, or these are the various questions that I will answer myself, whether I'm doing this one, whether I'm doing this one. I gather the information, I believe the information, I discover the information, I answered the question, I edited my work. So these are the very questions that is a part of the self evaluation. And there are three parts. One is a very easily, one is a easily, then next is the very difficult. So there are three parts by which we can change our attributes. The next is using my information sharing skills. So one is the information processing, then information sharing, that I presented my research, that is very easily or shared. Then using my evaluation skill, that is using my evaluation skill whether I can follow the rules or the not. That is I carried out my action plan, that is first part, either very easily or the with difficulty. Then I learned the following skills which can be used in other activities, whether I learned, this is the or we can say these are the two lines in which you can enter whether you are applying or whether you are doing the research activity or can be used in other activities or not. The next is the peer evaluation. So one is the self evaluation, the next is the peer evaluation. You can evaluate your peers, that you can evaluate your colleagues also, that is oral presentation and the speeches. So an evaluation from such as this can be used initially or awareness exercise with the students. One student feel comfortable providing feedback to each other, a less structured approach can be used. So once the feedback is given to the student, then the less structured approach will be used, that is known as the peer evaluation. The student will, we can say, they can evaluate themselves, that is a peer evaluation. That means evaluating in the same category, evaluating in the same line, that is a peer evaluation. So this is one of the example. Give an interesting introduction. That is a give an interesting introduction, that is also used. So an evaluation form such as this can be used, and awareness that is used. So give an interesting information, that is available over here. So give an interesting information, that is used for this one. Then presenting the information in an acceptable form, that is also used. So that is presenting the information in an available form, that is also available in this one. Then presenting the information in an acceptable form, that is also available in this one. That is either we can use in the acceptable order, either we can use in the difficulty level, that is available in this one. Then offered a concluding summary, that is also one of the part. Either we can offer the including summary or not. Then spoke clearly, that is very good, satisfactory, and so on. So these are various questions that is available in this one. This is the peer evaluation, that is we can evaluate the peer level entities also. Now next part is chapter number 7, that is from the classroom. So we have discussed or we have finished with the chapter number 6, that is putting it into the practice. Now chapter number 7 is from the classroom. So whatever you have learned from the classroom, or what you have learned from the classroom, that is chapter number 7. So let's take a break right now, then move to chapter number 7, that is from the classroom. So let's take a break right now. So come back from the break. Now let's start the session again. So next chapter, that is the chapter number 7, that is the from the classroom. So whatever we are doing from the classroom, that is the main content, that what we are doing from the classroom. So this is a live example from the classrooms. Now, first question is this chapter useful to me? Whether I am reading this chapter, studying this chapter, whether this chapter is useful to me or not. So most teachers will be able to extract ideas for implementing the research from this chapter. That is, most of the teacher will get the idea, get good ideas or extract the ideas from or for implementing the research from this chapter. That is, most of the information that they are gathering or they gathered, that is gathered from this chapter, that is from the classrooms. Now what will I find in this chapter? That is, what are the various content in this chapter? So sample research units developed and used by Alberta teachers at all division and the research level. That is, what is the research activity, what are the various units that is developed and used by the Alberta teachers at all divisions and the research level. That is what will I find in this chapter. There are simple or there are the sample research unit that is developed and used by the Alberta teachers, that is used as the division and the research activity. This is one of the activity, this is one of the research activity that is going on, that is from the classroom. Now this is an important quote that is given by the Carol Kuludhua. So this says students came to understand their own search process through guided use of information from elementary school through the high school. That is, students came to understand what are their search processes through the guided use of the information. That is, whatever the information they are using, the that will guide them from the elementary school through the higher education, that is from the primary school to the higher education. Student will understand their own process or own search processes. They learn that thinking, reflecting and mulling are an example or an important part of learning from the information. So what they learn that the thinking, reflecting and mulling. So whatever they think, whatever they learn, whatever they reflect and whatever they mule, that are the important part of learning from the information. That is they are the important, or that is the important part of the learning that is going on. That uncertainty is not only okay. It is the beginning of all the learning. So whatever you think, whatever you reflect, whatever you mull, that is an important part of learning from the information. That is not only an okay, but it is the beginning of all the learning. So students come to understand their own search process through guided use of information from elementary to the higher education. That is the first part. Then they learn that the thinking, reflecting and the mulling are an example of the learning from the information. That uncertainty is not okay. That is uncertainty is not okay from that. It is the beginning of all the learning. So whatever they doing, whatever they are asking, they are doing for the various research activity. They are doing the beginning of the learning. They take the initiative to find out and the responsibility for telling the others. So whatever the initiative, whatever the finding out, whatever the rule they are finding out, so they are finding out and the responsibility for telling the others. These are the basic skills for the information age. So whatever the information age that is carried out, these are the various skills that is available for the information age. Now, how do we guide student? That is how we guide student? What are the various rules for guiding the students? So how do we move from the general principles of chapter 3 and the curriculum based framework of chapter 4 and 5 and 6 to the Monday's morning classroom? The following sample assignment from the classroom provides tried and true research activities in different subjects. So whatever the assignment that they are giving the assignment from the classroom that provide the tried and the true. That is the tried activity and the true activity, that are the various research activity that is used in the different subject and at the different division levels. Some examples use the advanced level for the some research stages and introductory level for the other stages. So some examples are used for the advanced level for the research stages that is available and the introductory level for other stages. Some projects concentrate on developing students' independence. Some projects concentrates on developing what are the various student independence in the use of the skills while providing more teacher direction in other skill areas. So whatever the skill area, whatever the rules regulation they are using, they are providing the research stages and the introductory level for the other stages. And all of the vignettes submitted by the Alberta teachers could not be used. So samples were selected on the basis of the division and the subject. That means whatever the teacher they are using, they are dividing the concept into various parts. That is, they are dividing the concept or topic into various parts. That means dividing the main work into the sub parts. So they learn that thinking, reflecting, and mulling an example or part of the learning from the information. Now, sample number one, that is the division one, that is from the classroom of Sheila Spence, who has 20 years of teaching experience. So she is also the person. She is a part-time gifted program teacher, part-time resource room teacher, and part-time teacher librarian at the Peens Community School Read Day. So this is one of the example. One of the lady that have 20 years of teaching experience. She is a part-time program teacher, part-time research from room teacher, and part-time teacher librarian at the Pines Community School. That is a red D. So that is a stage number one, that is a planning. So now how she planned the activities, that is stage number one, planning. This activity was cooperatively planned by the teacher librarian and the teacher. So this activity, that is activity from the division 1, that activity will be planned by the teacher librarian and the teacher. So they formally together and make the activity, that is the teacher librarian and the teacher. Now, that is the day one. But the classroom teachers read several animal stories and factual books with the students. Teachers led the student or led the children in brainstorming list of greetings, animals and animal sounds. Children develop sentence patterns. That means classroom teachers and read the several animal stories and factual books with the students. Teachers also led the children in brainstorming list of the greetings. So they are providing the greeting in the brainstorming methods, animal and the animal sound. So this is the activity of the activity of teacher, that so that the student will gain the interest in this one, that is to make the list of the greeting, animals and the animal sounds. Children develop the sentence pattern. that is a day one activity, that is a planning. So classroom teachers should plan out what they are going to do. And, so in simple terms, we are saying that this is a lecture plan, or this is a class plan or lesson plan, what they are planning to do. So children develop the sentence pattern. Then day 2, the students were introduced to the concept of the habitat. Children planned the pictures of animals in their natural habitats. That is the day number 2. The topic is who is in the zoo. Then subject is language, arts and the science. Then grade is 1 and the 1.2. The number of students is a 24 by 80. Time is a 3 weeks. So this is the topic that is given. This is the objective what they are going to do. Then day number 2, the students were introduced to the concept of the habitat. That what is the habitat, how they are using the habitat. The children painted pictures of animals in their natural habitat. That is the day number 2. So students were introduced to the concept of the habitat. Children painted pictures of animals in their natural habitats. That is the day number 2. Now, day 3, each pair of students selected an animal from a list. So they have selected an animal from the list. Students were asked to prepare the following project to be evaluated. So they are asked to prepare a following project that is to be evaluated. Now, what are the various reports? What are the various pair of students what are the various project that is to be evaluated? The first one is report of 3 sentences, each on a separate page with an illustration depicting the appearance, habitat and the food. So there are 3 reports that is given on the 3 sentences. What are the 3 sentences that is given the report? That includes appearance, habitat and the food. Then poem based on the poem in A Children's Zoo by the Tana Hoban. So what is the poem that is based on the poem in A Children's Zoo? Then birth announcement complete with a picture of baby and the mother. That is a birth announcement that is complete with a picture of the baby and the mother. Students were evaluated on their oral reading of their work to the teacher librarian and on the final products. So whatever the birth announcement complete, that is used with a picture of the baby and the mother. That is a day number 3 activity, and student will introduce to the concept of the editing. So this is the planning that is carried out within the 3 days, that is the day 1, day 2 and the day 3. There are 3 days that is available over here. Now read this one. What is the topic? Who in the zoo? Then subject, that is the language, arts and the science. Either using the English or the science. Then grade, that is a 1 and the 1/2. The number of students, that is a 24 by 18. Then time is 3 weeks. And what is the main objectives? The students will locate the basic information about an animal by examining the pictures and using the keywords. So to locate the basic information about an animal, that what is an animal, by examining the pictures, that is what is a student or what is a language looks like, and using the keywords. Then next is organize the information in appropriate categories. That is organizing the information in appropriate category. So first is locate the basic information, then organize the information in various categories, that is proper order must be maintained. Then report the information through pictures and sentence writing. That the information is going on, or the information is passed, or report the information through the pictures and the sentence writing. Now what is a level? That is the introductory level. What are the research stages? uh, it is available at all the stages. Emphasis on the information retrieval, that is the research stages. So these are the various this is the first stage that we have discussed. Now next stage, there is a stage number 2, that is the information retrieval. So for retrieving the information, it starts with the day 4, that is each pair of students selected an animal from a suggested list. Students with teacher or the teacher librarian guidance brainstormed and categorized questions about the animal to limit the research to the appearance, habitat and the food. That is the day number 4. That is each pair of students selected an animal from a suggested list. That is they are giving the suggested list from they have to select the animal from the suggested list, and students with the teacher or the teacher librarian guidance brainstorm and categorize the questions about the animals to limit the research to the appearance. That is how they limit the research to the various appearance, habitat and the food. Then day number 5, that is a field trip to the zoo. This is also one of the major activity, that is whenever they are doing the whenever they are asking for the trip, that means going to the some place so that the more and more information can be retrieved. So a field trip to the zoo provided an opportunity for the children to view the animals to be studied. Two, students map the journey around the zoo. That is, during the tour, student map the journey means whatever they are learned, whatever they are coming the distance, they map the journey around the zoo. Then day number 6, after returning from the zoo, students brainstorm questions to help them find out about one particular animal. So now, after coming from the zoo, students were asked to explain about one animal that is available in the zoo, that you have seen in the zoo. So after returning from the zoo, students brainstorm questions to help them find out about one particular animal. Then day 7 of the 8, students studied pictures, skimmed and read text, looked for the keywords and took the brief notes. So students now studied the pictures, skimmed and the read text. So they are using the picture, they are using the skimmed content and the read text. Then they looked for the keywords and took the brief notes. So they are looking for the keyword, whatever the keyword they are doing, and they took the brief notes. The major portion of the research was completed in one class. So the major portion is available within the one class, that is also used. Videos and the film strips were used at the beginning of each session. So whatever the film strip, whatever the session that they are doing, so they are used as the beginning of each session. So students study the picture, skimmed and the read text, looked for the keywords and took the brief notes. Now this is the second stage. That is the second stage, oh sorry, this is the third stage. So we have covered the two stages, that is the stage number 1 planning and the stage number 2 information retrieval. Now next stage is stage number 3 information processing, that I am going to continue within the next class, that is the tomorrow's class, because this is too much for today. This is a theoretical subject. So that's all for today's session. In the next class, that is in the tomorrow's class, I am taking your next stage, that is the stage number 3 information processing, that is used for the from the classroom. That is how you carried out the information processing, that is starting with the day 9 of the information processing, that is the information processing. So that's all for today's session, and if there is any doubts, you can ask the doubts from me. In the tomorrow's class, I am taking your next stage, that is the stage number